Assalamu alaikum and hello to everyone. I'm a little nervous making this video right now, but I woke up this morning and I just didn't feel complete. I feel like I'm not as successful as I should be at this point in my life. And I had to ask myself why. And I believe that it's because I'm not really doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm not that what I'm doing now isn't good, but I feel like that I'm not doing what Allah has put me on this earth to do. I feel like Allah has tested me and put me through a lot for a reason. And it's not to be a hardship on me, but to be able to help people or other people that is going through what I've went through or has been through what I've been through. And it's time for me to accept it and own it. It's time for me to accept it and to own it. And I'm so nervous making this video because it's truth. It's my truth. And I believe that I cannot be successful until I own my truth. And I tried to go live with this so that I can actually interact with you guys, but it wouldn't work. I tried to connect to the internet and it wouldn't work. But I woke up this morning and I made the commitment to do this today while I feel it in my soul, while I feel it in my gut. I called my mom this morning. I said, Mom, I woke up this morning, I prayed. I always make time for self-reflection. And I said, Mom, I feel like, I keep failing. And it's like a repeated cycle. And the reason why I keep failing or not as successful as I perceive myself I should be is because I'm not doing what my true calling is. And that is to share my story and to help other people. So I'm going to try not to cry because it's very emotional. But it's also a healing process. Like, I've been through therapy, I've been through counseling. And until you actually acknowledge it yourself, that this is your truth, it's really pointless. And this morning I woke up to my truth. And my truth is, starting from birth, I had medical issues. I've had medical surgeries. In the midst of, my illness at that time, my mother became addicted to drugs, which actually left us eventually homeless. And during that time, during my mother's drug addiction, I was molested, by her boyfriend at a young age. And I can remember him coming into the room and feeling on me. I remember me taking care of my little brother and us not having food to eat. And I'm waking up making us like sugar sandwiches. We had a sugar bowl, and then my brother would sit at the table, lick our finger, put our finger in the sugar, lick it again. You know, and this was breakfast. I remember trying to find us clothes to wear to go outside. And this one time I remember I put a suit on him and I had on like this Sunday church dress. And this is what we were going outside to play in. I remember the lights being out. I remember the smell of a crack pipe burning in the house. I can still smell it sometimes. Eventually, you know, we lost our home, and we were in and out of shelters. And all this was before the age of 10. And I had so much responsibility on me. I felt like I had to take care of my mom. I had to take care of my little brother. I didn't have a choice but to be an adult. I remember going to school and being bullied on the way to school. Being bullied once I got to school. I caught the bus at an early age. In first grade, my mom would put me on the bus. She would tell the bus driver, you know, to make sure I got on the bus at the same time every day. And my mom would tell the bus driver where to let me off. And while I was on the bus, I was being bullied by the same group of teenagers. And then to have to go to school and be bullied. And I was in Catholic school, you know, eventually I was taken out of that school. But I remember before leaving the school, with my bully, I got so fed up at one point. You know, I had enough going on at home with the condition of my mom and my household. I remember pushing a girl down the steps. And of course she didn't bother me anymore after that. and living in the shelters, once we moved into the shelters, I think I went to like 2 or 3 different schools, until I landed into foster care. My brother and I landed into foster care with my grandma, and sent us to another Catholic school where I stayed until I graduated. And I remember times, while I was living with my grandma, my mom had promised me that she would get clean. And she did it. And I would literally see my mom walking down the street, and I would not even want to acknowledge her. Like, I truly hated her. But my grandma just kept saying, all we could do is pray for her. All we could do is pray for her. And I would go to church and be praying and praying and praying. I would pray at night. My grandma made sure we said our prayers every night. There wasn't a prayer that I didn't pray for my mom. I remember she had told me, she was getting herself together, and she was going to get us back. And I remember walking in the bathroom. I walked across the street from my grandma's house where I knew my mom was, because I wanted to see her. And they told me that she was upstairs in the bathroom. As kids, we go in the bathroom with our parents. I was 10. I wanted to see my mom. So I just walked in the bathroom and caught my mom snorting. All I remember was my heart was broken because she told me that she was getting clean to get us back. And I felt like that was her priority. Those drugs was her priority. I remember saying words to her like, I hate her, she's a liar. I went to my grandma, ran back across the street, told my grandma I never wanted to see her again. And, my grandma prayed, and she told me everything would be all right. And my mom came over to the house, and told my grandma she wanted to go to rehab. And she did. Um, things got better. Things got better. Alhamdulillah. You know, my mom has been clean for 29 years now. Alhamdulillah. She's been clean for 29 years. And now she's my best friend and my business partner. This is hard, y'all. This is hard. So I've been through illnesses that damn near killed me. I've been through molestation. I've lived through a mother strung out on drugs and me going into the foster system. I've lived through living in and out of shelters, in and out of people's homes. No food, no lights. I've lived through that as a child. And then growing up, you know, into my teenage years, I got into a relationship and I became a teen mom, you know, with an abusive boyfriend who literally tried to kill me. He beat me, stomped me, banged my head into the radiator, and doing all of this in front of my 1-year-old son at the time. He blacked out. And all I could remember was him kicking me and stomping me and punching me and telling me that I was going to die that night and he was going to kill me. And I just could not believe that I was actually going through what I was going through at that time. As a young parent, I believe I was 18 or 19, one of those, I believe. My father and one of his best friends found out and actually was like riding around to look for him, to hurt him bad. They couldn't find him. Of course, he went out into hiding. He wasn't arrested at that moment. He wasn't arrested. I didn't press charges. But then an incident happened where I tried to move on with my life. And he just wanted to see me unhappy and miserable. So he would do anything in his power to do so. Where we eventually got into another altercation. And that altercation landed him in prison for 8 months. And I got the phone calls. How could you say you love me? We have a child together. Why would you have me locked up? But if someone physically abuses you, that is not love. And I knew that wasn't love. So that was his first and last chance with me. I never went back to him. So then I got into another relationship, and he was the father to, he wasn't the father, he was a father to my son. He was a good role model to my son. And I felt like it was like a breath of fresh air, you know. He looked out, you know. Then I became pregnant again with my second child. And I remember we had a good day this day. It was really nice. We went out for dinner, family dinner. An altercation broke out, not between he and I. An altercation broke out. And I'm outside and I hear gunshots. I'm 5 months pregnant with my second son, and I was shot. I thought that my arm had literally fell off because I didn't feel anything. All I felt was a burning sensation and then numbness. And the bullet came in from the back and went out, kind of like out on an angle because it hit my bone, broke it, shattered my bone actually, and exited. And my 1-year-old son, who was 3 at the time, witnessed this. I was shot in my arm, and my children's father was shot in his leg from that incident. Yeah, that was crazy. I think the police officers that rushed me to the hospital, it seemed like everything was in slow motion, you know. I remember running in a house and my 3-year-old standing there, my 3-year-old at the time, standing there watching blood just shoot out of my arm. I remember seeing the splatters of blood on the wall. It was crazy. That house, I needed to get out of that house. That house was burglarized. I went out one night, came back in, and my whole house was burglarized. Yeah, that was crazy. The house, that was a crazy 2 years. 2 years. It was crazy. So I got through that. I got through being shot at 5 months pregnant. I got through it. It was scary. I've been through relationships where I was mentally abused, emotionally abused, financially abused, and they were tense, you know, which led me into falling into depression. And depression is a dark, dark place. Depression is a dark place. You know, you don't want to talk to anybody. You don't want to do anything. You have no motivation, no inspiration, no drive, to do anything. You just want to be alone, sit alone. And depression is not good when you have children. Because it affects them. And you don't realize it while it's happening. Depression affects everything and everyone around you. And I still struggle, sometimes here and there. And you would never know. You would never know. Some people wear it well. And I'm one of those people where I could wear depression well. I put all my focus on other people and helping other people. And, I'm dealing with my own stuff. Being a police dispatcher for 14 years, some of those years I was dealing with my own stuff. And I still had to go to work and deal with other people's stuff. Deal with other people's nonsense, daily, every day, on a daily basis. Going out, drinking. I never ever did drugs, but I would drink when I go out. But it was crazy. I accepted Islam because I found peace, going to church and going to Catholic school, going to Baptist church and going to Catholic school. It was a lot. I had a lot of questions. But, Islam gave me structure. It gave me peace. It gave me that 5 times a day to reflect and believe that everything is going to be all right. Everything is going to be all right. However, we can have religion, but if we are not in tune or can accept who we are or what we came from, all that negates everything. We can all say that we are believers. We can all say we believe in God. We can all say we believe in a higher being. But it really all starts within. It really does. Religion is a lifestyle, and you have to find your peace and your purpose. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm outside in a quiet space in the park, so the lighting may go in and out. This is where I have my me time. I do self-reflection in the morning, and then I come out here to pray and just think, read different things. But needless to say, with all that, being a teen mother on my own, I didn't live with my mom. When I became a teen mom, I wasn't living with my mom. I was out on my own, and I was still in school. I graduated. I got awards. I had my teacher coming out to the house in 12th grade while I was home caring for my new baby. I was still focused. I was still determined to win. Even after all that I've been through. And I'm still determined to win. But I just want people to know that you're going to go through things, and you can't let it break you. And if you feel like you're not being successful at what you're doing, and you could be putting 100% into it and you're not being successful, then maybe that's not what you're supposed to be doing. Do a self-reflection. Look at what you've been through. How can you help somebody? What you've been through, can it help somebody? Can your story help somebody? Can your story motivate somebody to keep going? I'm still going through stuff to this day. And, I have a nonprofit organization where I help the homeless and I help the people that are hungry because I've been there. I don't do it for recognition. And I'm not doing this video because I want somebody to feel sorry for me. I'm doing this video because it's for me. It's completion for me. I know that there are other people going out there. I know that there are other people out there going through what I've been through. I know there are kids out here who are being bullied. I know there are kids out here who are sick and going in and out of the hospital. I know that there are women out here that are in abusive relationships. I know there are kids out here who have parents that are strung out on drugs, whether it be perks, coke, heroin, weed, anything, and your kids, your children are watching you. They're watching you, and it's affecting them. You may say, oh, I do this in the comfort of my own home. My kids don't see it. But drugs affect you, whether you know it or not. It affects you. And when it affects you, it affects your children. And these children need help. I go to my girlfriend's shelter. She has a youth shelter on Broad Street. And I see so much of myself in these kids that are there. I see so much of myself. Which, is even more of a reminder of who I am and where I came from and why I have no choice but to be successful. I want to do things differently. I want to be better. I want better for my children. I want better for my family. I want better for my community. The gun violence, it has to stop. It has to stop. Me being a victim of gun violence, me losing family members and friends to gun violence at an early age up until this point, and it's only getting worse. You know what I mean? Every time I turn around, my sons are posting pictures of their friends that are being killed. You know what I mean? And alhamdulillah, I have good children. I have really good children that work hard and are focused on their ultimate goals and their success, because this is what I've instilled in them. My children are entrepreneurs. My children have goals for college. My oldest son is 20 in college, and he's an entrepreneur. You know what I mean? My 17-year-old son, the one I was shot when I was pregnant with him, he's in high school. He's been out shopping for colleges, and he's an entrepreneur. My 12-year-old, she's my pain in the butt, but I love her to death. She's my test, definitely. But she's an entrepreneur. I have a 2-year-old. Yeah, I have a 2-year-old. Can you believe it? 20, 17, 12. My daughter's about to be 13, inshallah, in October. And a 2-year-old. And I can already see his greatness in him. Like, I can already see it. But needless to say, I hope that, you watch this video and understand that what you are going through is not the end. You may be depressed. You may be sad. You may have went through some things. You may be going through some things. But don't let it destroy you. And don't let it take years and years and years for you to realize it and recognize it. So if you see this video, share it. Hopefully it'll help somebody else. Y'all do a lot of things to please other people. I can't continue to try to please other people. I have to do what's best for me and my family. So make this video go viral. Share it. Everybody has a story. Share your story. It's good. It's therapy. Start a journal. Alright, but I've been out on here long enough. And again, I try to do it live. I'm going to post it. If you see it and you comment, I'll respond. I'm trying to finish my book. It's not about my life. My next book is about my life. This book is not. But yeah, be great. Stay motivated. Excuse my puffy eyes from crying. But I had to do it. I had to do this video. I have to share my story. And I've been through a whole lot more, you know, but I just didn't want to bore you guys. But I'm here. If you need me, I'm here if you want to talk. We can get through things together. All right? Assalamu alaikum. Have a blessed day. Be productive. Be motivated. You are somebody, and you are worth it. Peace.